Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I haven't filmed in like 4,000 years. Actually no, more like about 4 months, so I honestly don't know what my intro was or how I do these things because I forgot how to YouTube. But anyways, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a full face of drugstore makeup products, and all these products that I'm going to be using are relatively new, so if you are interested then keep on watching. Since I haven't been here on YouTube for about 4 months, I thought I should kind of give you guys a little update on why I wasn't, so I'll put that somewhere in the video while I'm doing my makeup. So if you want to see what's new at the drugstore and what's good, then keep on watching. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so first off, the products that I'm going to be using, I'm obviously going to list all of them down below, but the first thing I'm going to be using is this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Rose 3-in-1 Primer Water Prep, Set, and Refresh. I love their primer waters. The spray in here is, it's generous, let's just call it that. It's quite generous. I'm just going to let that soak in for a little bit. Don't like the rose scent, so do not pick up the rose scent one. The cucumber scent I've tried is really good. I just can't find mine. And the coconut one I've heard is also really good. I just couldn't find it at the Ulta. Now, the foundation I'm going to be using now, I realize this foundation's been out for a few months now at this point. But when I bought it, it was new, so obviously it just launched. But this foundation is just so good, and it's the only one from the drugstore after a very long time that's comparable to high-end foundations. So I definitely recommend you pick this foundation up if you have not tried it yet. It is so good. It works for so many different skin types, and it comes in a pump. So there's that. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Freshwear Foundation. So I'm just going to put some on this little thing that I got from e.l.f. because I seem to be one of those people that just like walks out with makeup on the back of my hands. So the shade I'm going to be using is 460. I did try, I think this is like golden beige. It's kind of hard for me to like find a shade because these shades that they do have do run a little bit yellow, like undertone wise. So if you have like a cool tone, cool undertone for your skin, it might be a little bit harder for you to find a shade. But they have so many different shades, and I'm sure you can like mix to find your shade, which isn't ideal, but if you have to, you can, because this foundation, like I said, it's like very comparable to some high-end foundations that I've used. So right now my skin is just like going through it right now because I've been trying so many different drugstore, I guess like not drugstore, but more affordable alternatives to different skincare products, because you guys know I use Drunk Elephant or Murad or some high-end skincare products, so it's kind of been hard for me to like make that switch. Obviously not everything I use is high-end, but for the most part, skincare wise, I do like to like spend my money on high-end skincare if it works. Obviously it's not just like the name, but so I've been trying to find like cheaper alternatives to it, and let's just say it's not going so well. I've had a lot of reactions on my skin because of it, but the only reason I'm doing that is because a lot of you guys have asked for, you know, different alternatives, and I feel like I think it's completely fair, and if I can find something that's more affordable than Drunk Elephant or any of these high-end brands, high-end skincare brands that I use, then obviously I would love to, you know, switch over to it. So bear with me as I try to fix my skin. Okay, so that blended out like a dream. By the way, the sponge that I'm using is also like only $1. It's not like a beauty blender, so everything that I'm going to be using today is going to be drugstore, or at least in that price range. So next up, I'm going to be using this concealer. So L'Oreal also came out with a concealer, and it works pretty well with the foundation. Now, there is also another drugstore concealer that's out, and it's this e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. Now, by itself, I do not like this concealer because it is too drying, but with this, I don't mind it, and it's only because I like this shade mixed in with this shade. So you can see they're two different, like, they're obviously two different colors, and it's because I'm somewhere in between these two and I'm too lazy to go buy another one of these, which is my skin tone. So This is not like, this isn't a terrible concealer, it's just very drying. I have tried it with some eye cream right underneath, and it works pretty well for that, but I still would recommend you just kind of like mix it with something, or unless your under eyes aren't so dry like mine are, then I think you would definitely love the e.l.f. one, because it does have like, you know, it does have the opaqueness of like Tarte Shape Tape, for example, which is kind of like the industry standard for concealers. But I would say like this one is probably the closest one to Tarte Shape Tape. Actually, let me go get the Tarte Shape Tape and show you guys like side by side. I know I look so weird right now, but here's the Tarte Shape Tape and here's L'Oreal Infallible. So it's basically like the packaging looks exactly the same, like their bottle, and it still has the same amount. So if you want a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, I would definitely go with this. So I'm going to blend that out, the L'Oreal one out, and then I'm going to go in with just a little bit of this e.l.f. one, because the e.l.f. one, even though it's drying, it works really well as an eye base. Like, I have to say, like, as an eye base, it's actually pretty good. So there's that, and I'm just going to take a little bit. So again, it has like that thick applicator, and I'm just taking that much just because I want it to be just a little bit brighter. I'm not going to take it all the way up to my lower waterline or lash line, because that's when I see the most creasing on my eyelids. And then whatever's left on my sponge, I'm just going to take in the middle, down the center of my nose, and right here. Alright, I'm just going to set my under eyes. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, all the drugstore setting powders dry out my under eyes and make them like crease really badly, but I'm just going to lightly, and I mean really lightly, dust my under eyes with this. This is the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. This is like just a powder like this, and it just helps like brighten things up. I'm kind of using it as kind of like a setting powder almost, so I'm just going to lightly dust that underneath my eyes. It is very yellow. I just kind of want to lightly set my under eyes and not really like bake or anything. But for the most part, I can't use a drugstore setting powders because they just dry out my skin. I'm talking about like loose setting powders, by the way. I'm not talking about like in a compact or anything like that. Yeah, another one that I really like from the drugstore is the Rimmel Stay Matte. I used to use that all the time when I had combo oily skin. So I would definitely recommend that one, and then also this one's really good. This one's more for like brightening up, but my purpose is I'm just using it to lightly set my under eyes. I'm gonna do the face and then do the eyes just because I just feel like doing it that way. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline City Bronzer. This is in the shade 200. I've used this one before, like once, and I really, really liked it. So I'm going to bronze up my skin. And because this bronzer is matte, I don't have to be so sparing with it, because I feel like the glowy bronzers, I can get like too much glitter, I guess, too much shimmer on my face really quickly. So this one's really nice, like, for a bronzer. I believe they only have 3 or 4 shades, I can't remember, but if you are in the market for a good, affordable drugstore bronzer, I definitely recommend this. By the way, if you guys don't follow me on my Insta stories, you should, because even though I haven't been active on YouTube, I've been doing a lot of like tutorials on my stories and showing you guys the products I'm using, and my hair is a freaking mess, but yeah. Oh, by the way, this one I can also use as a contour, because this is a bronzer and contour powder, but a neutral tone kind of bronzer. It's not like too warm, where I can actually get away with using it as a contour as well. So love that. I'm going to be going in with the e.l.f. Jelly Highlighter. Now this thing is quite finicky, I have to say. I thought I liked it, and then I didn't like it for a little bit, and then I liked it again. It's like quite watery, and that's what makes it a little bit harder to use because you think you have some dry down time, but it's just really hard to blend out. So I'm going to just take my sponge and go in the cap and just kind of pick up some product. And I'm just going to lightly put that right there and then immediately start blending it out, because if I don't, it's just going to look like a mess. So I don't know if you guys can see, it's like the lightest amount of like sheen, but it looks pretty natural. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. This is the only way I can get it to work, because I feel like if I mix it with my foundation it looks too much. So this color right here, let me tell you what color this is. This is, I don't know if this has a cloud. I guess that's the name of it. But the problem with this is that even though it gives you like a nice glow, you have to work really fast with it. I guess like that's kind of like a good thing and a bad thing, that it sets quite fast. It's just that you gotta work really fast with it. Alright, moving straight on to blush. Like I said, I'm going to do the face makeup first and then move on to the eye makeup. So I'm going to be taking the Milani Tea Rose. I don't think this is new. I've definitely bought this before because I'm pretty sure I've used it a lot. But this, I guess I picked it up again because I've been like cleaning out my makeup collection, and some of the things I know for sure I've had for too long and could be expired, so yeah. So I'm going to be using this eyeshadow palette right here. This is from e.l.f. This is their Rose Gold Sunset eyeshadow palette. I feel like this is so underrated. I don't know if I've actually seen anyone talk about this, but there's 10 colors in here. This is $10, and these colors are so nice and they blend out so nicely as well. So I'm just going to be taking kind of this middle shade right here and put that through my crease. They blend out so nicely, and it's only $10, and I feel like this is kind of one of those things that while I was at the drugstore I was like, oh, I've never seen that, you know. I didn't know e.l.f. had this kind of a eyeshadow palette, so I think this is like perfect for travel. Now, the shimmers on here are nice. I just wish that like this color right here wasn't shimmer and it was just like a matte, because it would be nice for like all over. But I'm going to take shade right here, which I don't even think it's going to match my outfit, but whatever. I'm just going to take this shade on my fingers, and it just like blends out like a dream. Like, it's kind of like shocking that this is only $10, because this is really nice, and surprisingly this actually stays on for a while. I wore it for about 8 hours the other day and it stayed on. The mattes, however, you do kind of want to build up just a little bit, but this is like me without a primer. If I were to go in with a primer, I've also used this Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. This works amazing as an eyeshadow base. And even if you're not trying to cut your crease, if you just want to like put that on there and then go in with this eyeshadow, it stays on even longer. So definitely recommend you check out this palette. So you can obviously take a brush and go in with this color. Now I'm just going to go in with this shade right here, kind of like a deeper brown. And just kind of deepen up the outer crease. I'm just going to take this color right here, try to use that as like an inner corner highlight. I always like to do my brows after my eye makeup. I don't know what it is, it just makes more sense to me. So I'm just taking this NYX Precision Brow Pencil, and honestly this is like a straight up dupe for the Anastasia Brow Definer. So I wasn't gonna use a eyeliner, but I thought I should just go ahead and tell you guys my favorite liquid eyeliner from the drugstore. It's this NYX Matte Liquid Liner. It comes like this. Now, This is my favorite liquid liner in this form. If you're looking for a good drugstore eyeliner, it would have to be the one from Essence. I will try to find it and link it down below so you guys know which one I'm talking about. But this one is so matte. It's so matte and it does not budge and it's waterproof. I've literally like walked through the rain in this. I've cried in this. It does not budge. I think it's within like $10, so I think this is a really good eyeliner. And honestly, the only one that I tend to use whenever I'm trying to do a black eyeliner. Okay, now I'm also going to be lining my inner upper waterline. So I'm going to be using the Essence Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil, if I can just talk for 2 seconds. This one's really good and it's really black. Now, don't have this sharpened, so I'm going to be using another Essence pencil. This is their Essence Cajal Pencil, which I don't think they have in the US. I feel like I got this somewhere in Europe. So this one's not as dark as the Extreme Last one because this one's more like creamy, like the formula is more creamy. If I can find a sharpener for it, I will sharpen it and definitely be using that. And then I'm just going to go in with that shade right here and just smoke out the lower lash line. For lips, I'm going to be using this Essence lipstick in the shade 02. It doesn't really have a name, so that's the problem. It's from their matte collection. It's like a pinky nude almost. So for lashes, I'm going to be using a oldie but a goodie mascara, and if you guys can guess it before I even tell you, because I feel like everyone's used this mascara. I'm talking about the Great Lash from Maybelline. And I actually really like this mascara, even though the specific mascara came out the year I was born. I think like 1994 or something like that. So a few other drugstore favorites, which L'Oreal Paradise I like, Essence, the one in the purple tube, I used to talk about that one all the time. I think all of last year I've used that mascara pretty much. It's the 24-Hour Stylist or something like that. I forgot the full name, but it's the one in the purple tube from Essence. And then also Lash Princess from Essence is really good. There are some other drugstore products that I love. And I'm just going to set my face. And there you have it. That is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and hopefully you got some new products in mind that you want to try out from the drugstore, because the drugstore is really cranking out these products, and all of them for the most part have been really stellar. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. I know I haven't been posting for the past 4 months, but if you follow me on Instagram, you know exactly why, because I started my own makeup line, and if you didn't already know that, now you know. And I was going to include it in this video, but I realized I wanted to keep it only for drugstore products that you can actually find at the drugstore. So I will definitely be doing more videos using my products for my makeup line, and I will link that down below as well. And if you want to stay in the loop with me with what I'm doing, then you can always follow me on my socials. I will leave them all down below. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!